Hello, Melissa Dillon here, and I'm coming live on my personal page to actually answer a question that popped up inside of my Magic Money group. So I have a I have a group here on Facebook, and it houses my Magic Money membership. And this is for people who want a playground for money, a safe place to talk about money, a place where we're celebrating money, and feeling really rich and doing amazing things and manifesting amazing things. And it's really freaking awesome. And one of the people inside the group has manifested a car that she completely fully owns. It's a 2003 Nissan Rogue, and it's perfect for her situation. She's able to fit all of her stuff in there. She runs a jewelry making business, and she goes around to different places and puts out her, her tent with all her cool stuff. And so she has this question in the group, and normally I would answer these questions in the group, but I decided I wanted to share with you guys what it looks like when I answer, Magic Money questions, to invite you to come to Magic Money. And to invite you to come into this playground, this space. And it's only right now $33 a month to join into the Magic Money membership. And it's available. Well, actually, if you go to melissamadillon.com, it might be hard to find it. So I'll have to share the link with you. But, okay, so she's talking about how she has manifested this car, which is crazy. Because she completely owns. I need to know the story. Like, Melissa, you did not share the story. Her name is also Melissa. You did not share the story of how you got this car, or at least I don't remember it. But anyway, she goes, my car is making a noise and it makes me very nervous. And when I drive her, what ifs start to come out, and I'm scared of driving her much, but still believe she will always take me home safe and sound. What do I do when something is about to show up, but your current situation makes you nervous? So one is go take the car in, find out what the noise is. It could be something like super silly and not even a big thing at all. So you're coming in with fear already. You're making an assumption that there's already something really wrong with the car because you're hearing a noise. Like, it could be the simplest little thing. It could be a leaf is stuck somewhere. Like, take the car in, okay? Have them assess what the sound is. Next is to trust that everything is working in your favor all the time. That maybe this noise is there to take you to the car dealership where you're going to meet somebody who is seeking a jewelry making person. Like, allow the wildest things to happen and trust that everything is working in your favor all the time. So there's no harm, there's nothing bad that's going to come to you by getting the car checked out to check in what the noise is. The other thing too with manifesting is when you manifest, when you work towards wanting to manifest something. So you say you want something in your life, like I want to get a new car. I want to get a new house. I want to get a relationship. I want a business. I want to sell my book. I want to write a book. Whatever it is that you want to be manifesting, you have to know that whole process is not a fun process. Manifesting is fun in and of itself, but there is a point, where you're going to go through a struggle. You're going to go through a hardship. And this is the point where it's like the universe, source, God, energy, whatever is allowing you to have this manifestation come through, is checking your ability to hold what it is that you're asking for. So it's the same thing as like going to a gym. If you go to a gym and you're wanting to lift weights, you cannot pick up, a 100-pound weight if you have not been lifting weights for a while. You have to start with a 5-pound weight, 10-pound weight, 20-pound weight, whatever. Your ability to hold something, it has to be stretched. It has to be exercised. And so when you're wanting to manifest something big into your life, something that you have deemed as big, you're going to be stretched and it's going to be uncomfortable. But this is where you decide that no matter how uncomfortable it is, I will be okay. I will be okay. It is that freaking simple, is this belief that I will be okay. There's nothing that'll take me out. Even if this is like a $5,000 car repair, or even if they tell you the car is completely done and over with, then you say something even better is coming. Something even better is coming. Like, I firmly hold the belief all the time that it gets to be this or something better. Oh, and that honestly, that's a lesson I need to add to the Mega Millions. It's this or something better. So I was pregnant, and we were living in a house that was not a space where I wanted to bring my baby in. It was a temporary place. And I wanted to have my baby in Michigan near my mom, and we needed a place to stay. And so I was in this place. The baby was going to be due in the summer. This is a summer town where trying to go on Airbnb to find a place was impossible because there was no place that was available for 3 months time period. We would have to move into one place and then move to somewhere else. There was no place available for 3 months. Because this was a touristy town, everyone comes up there for the summer. So I couldn't find anything on Airbnb. So, and then I'm looking at like short-term rentals, temporary rentals. There's nothing available. And so I put out this post that we were looking in a Facebook group for that city, that I was looking for a temporary rental. And that I would pay a nice sum to be able to rent somebody's house. And this guy was like, oh my God, like I'm about to move out of my house. It's gonna be available. You guys can come in. It's perfect. There's even a perfect little place for you guys to have the baby. And it felt so good and so wonderful that we had this house. And I was literally on my way, and this was such a relief. Like, I'm like, I have to have a place to have the baby. You know, like we were talking about, am I gonna have the baby in the camper? Like, I have to have a place to have the baby. We're going up there in Michigan. I cannot have my baby here in Illinois. We have to get a house. And so the relief that I felt that we were gonna have a house. And everything was scheduled to go, and I was on my way. I was driving up to go meet him and pay him a deposit and sign the contract so that we could ensure that we would have this house. And on my way up there, as I'm driving, I get a text message that says, never mind, the house is not available. And it was just like, that's it. And I felt this immediate sense that something better is on the way. Something better is on the way. Now, this was not my default setting at that time. It became my default setting during this experience. And I have been cultivating this mindset constantly that everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. So this is a story. This is a belief that I've been repeating to myself over and over and over and over again, that everything is working out for me in my favor. Everything is working out for me in my favor. Everything is working out for me in my favor. So when I get the phone call that this house that we finally got and felt so relieving that we had gotten, that we'd have a safe place to have our baby, was falling through, instead of the worry and the fear and the doubt and like, oh my God, I let it go. I was like, something better is even coming. Something better is even coming. And in fact, I was up there for because I stayed at my mom's house up in Michigan. I was on my way to go pay him. He said, the house is no longer available. So I was just staying at my mom's house, and I was planning to be up at my mom's house for a month or two anyway to work on some projects and stuff. And David had reached out to me, and he was like, have you done any investigating into getting another house? And I said, honestly, no. I don't know. Like, I just trust something's going to happen. It's like, I have this feeling that I don't need to scramble, that I don't need to worry, that I don't need to rush, that like something magical is going to happen. And he was actually mad at me. He was mad. He's like, this isn't important to you. I was like, of course it's important to me to have a safe place to have our baby. I was like, how dare you say that to me? I was like, we actually kind of had a fight. And, but I was like, it just in my full body just resonated with, it's going to be something even better. And lo and behold, my dad had his friend come over to talk about some business or whatever. And my mom was like, don't you have like a bunch of rental houses? And he was like, yeah, I've got a few rentals, but we're in the middle of transitioning and blah, blah, blah. And, and I was like, and she's like, you should talk to him. So I asked him, I was like, do you have a house? I need a house for 3 months. And we're going to be having our baby here, and we need it furnished because we don't have anything. And he's like, yeah, I have a furnished house that you guys can rent. No problem, for like a fraction of the price that we were going to pay on that first house. It was a difference of $5,000 to $1,500 a month. That's a massive jump. And it was a beautiful home. It was an amazing place to have our baby. I loved being there. It had a beautiful sun porch that I can go sit on every day. And again, like this, and it worked out in my favor that the first house fell through. When that first house fell through, I could have been torn up. I could have been so stressed. I could have been so worried. I could have been filled with fear and just thinking that all these, oh my God, of course it fell through and I always have these problems and like life sucks. And I didn't feel any of those feelings because I had been cultivating a belief. Everything is working for me in my favor all the time. And so when that house fell through and I released it and I let it go and I trusted that something even better for me was coming up, that's exactly what happened. And I even had to, stand firm when David was like, you need to be looking for a house. Like, this should be your top priority. And I kind of just was like, somehow, some way, I know it's already worked out. It's already taken care of. And it was already taken care of. It was no problem. It was so much easier. And we saved so much more money because we were willing to pay a large sum of money to be able to rent a house because one, people were not available or houses were not available. So it's like we knew we had to be able to pay a nice sum to convince someone to leave their house for 3 months. And I was prepared to pay this large sum of money. But then we also got David's house back. He had a tenant living in his house. And we were living in a house in Illinois that I did not want to have my baby there. And I did not want to bring my baby home back to that house. It was a temporary rental we were living in. And we didn't actually have a house at all. That was a whole other miracle itself. Is David owned a house, but he had tenants in his house that had a contract to actually be there for 3 years. And they randomly decided they did not want to be in that house anymore. And they're like, we're going to break our lease. And it was perfect timing, but we had to renovate that house. And so we were about to spend a bunch of money renting another house in Michigan. And now we got to save all of that money and we cash renovated his house. So everything worked in our favor. Everything worked in our favor. And there was not one moment where I doubted and had fear or worry. And if it did, I would pop back up and say, everything is working out for me all the time. Everything is working out for me all the time. Everything is working out for me all the time. And I cannot stress enough how powerful it is to literally repeat that to yourself in the middle of the shit. When you are feeling the doubt, when you are feeling the worry, when you are feeling the overwhelm, that is the exact time. That is the exact time when you go, everything is working out for me. 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 I want you to, like little kid status, put your fingers in your ears and go, la, 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 I'm not listening to you, to the fear, to the worry, to the doubt. And you focus on everything is working out for me. Your brain will fuel fear all the time. It'll give you thought after thought after thought after thought that adds more fear, adds more fear, adds more fear, adds more fear. You literally have to rewire your brain to stop the fear train. Stop the fear train and simply everything is working out for me. 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 That's exactly what I do. Like I am 100%. That is what I do. And I do it in any situation that feels like if David and I do get in a heated conversation, is I will repeat the Ho'oponopono prayer nonstop. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Because my brain, based on how I grew up watching my parents fight all the time, was that it's going to tell me 1,000 million reasons why I'm so mad at David and I should continue to be mad at him and I should leave him and all these things. Like this is how my brain had been wired because of how I grew up and what I watched people in relationships do. So I don't want those thoughts though. I don't want 1,000 reasons that my mind is going to convince myself that I should break up and I'm in the bad relationship and David is the worst human in the world. Like my brain will do that. It's been programmed to do that. I have to deprogram my mind and stop that thought process and install a new thought process. And so I repeat something over and over again that will stop my brain from the worry train, stop my brain from the fear train, and allow me to shift into a better way of thinking. You can't just immediately, have worry and say, oh, I'm no longer worried. You have to do something about getting your brain to stop the worry and shift it into everything is working out for me. So in this situation, so again, I'm answering a question that came out of my Magic Money group. So I have a Magic Money group online. It's $33 a month. It's a place to play around, talk about money. It's a safe place to say, I want to be a millionaire, bajillionaire, because Melissa, I'm answering your question. By the way, Melissa, how did you get a car? Like, I don't know the story of this. I remember you talking about wanting to get a car and now suddenly you own a car. And I'm like, what? So I'm answering her question in our Magic Money group. And I wanted to do it here on my page to show you how I come in and answer questions in the Magic Money group and how you can basically get almost one-on-one coaching support through me for $33 a month in the Magic Money group, learning from a person who has figured out how to go from broke to millionaire status within the, less than 2 years and 3 months when we hit $1 million in the business. I want to show you how I got there. I want to show you what it is that I did. So you've got to turn off the fear and the worry. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I have not. Yesterday, rather than I'm receiving it. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I wondered. Okay. So, okay. I was going to say, okay. So she wants to own a vehicle. So she's trying to manifest a brand new vehicle, and the current car that she's in is making a sound. So first of all, I want to tell you that your desire to manifest a new vehicle, your old vehicle's got to go away. It's got to leave your life. If you're wanting to put a new vehicle in, the old one's got to leave. And so, yeah, it's going to have a problem. So by desiring a brand new vehicle, you're actually making way for your old vehicle to leave your life, to leave your situation. So that's pretty funny. But anyway, so when you're manifesting something, there's going to be something that stretches you. There's going to be something that's uncomfortable. There's going to be something that doesn't feel awesome. But knowing that I can hold whatever happens, I can take care of this. And honestly, I would look at the sound that so she's in a current car. The current car that's breaking down is, why does that keep happening? The current car I keep getting a notification from Facebook that comments are being removed from my group. And I'm like, what is this? I think it's in the insurance exam queen group. Maybe somebody's spamming it. I don't know. But anyway, when you're manifesting something, your current reality, it's got to make way for it. So yeah, your car breaking down is opening you up to the ability of being able to receive the new one. So that's I would celebrate it. I would celebrate the car breaking down because you're like, the new one's on the way. This one has to leave for my new one to show up. Exactly in the house scenario. I thought I was like, we have to find a house to have the baby. It took a while to secure that first house. And then he just calls and he says, the house is no longer available. Sorry. And then I'm like, okay. But then this overwhelming sense of peace came in that something better is even showing up. Something better is even showing up. So your current car breaking down is part of the manifestation of the new car coming in. And you have to trust that as well. And you have to hold the space where that feels uncomfortable. You have to hold that ability to stretch. Because anytime you're manifesting anything, there's going to be a point where it's uncomfortable. And you have to hold that new level of stretch. In the same way you go to a gym, you're like, I want to be more muscly. You've got to lift bigger weights. It doesn't feel good the whole time. It hurts. Your muscles are sore. They have to rip apart and build back together in order to become a stronger muscle. So you have to be able to say, I can hold the manifestation. I can hold the space of this, being uncomfortable. And you don't have to necessarily say that it's breaking, but you say it is making way. It is making way for me. This is more evidence that I am ready for my new car. This is more evidence that I'm excited to have my new car. So you don't want to see it as, again, the fear, the worry, and doubt. And when that fear, worry, doubt comes in, you have to break that train. You have to break that thought process by installing a new belief. Everything is working out for me. 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 Even to the point where it feels ridiculous, but you've got to do it. You've got to do it. You have to rewire your brain. Your brain, until you make conscious control of your life, and even when you do take conscious control of your life, because most of us are living on autopilot, we don't even realize it. Most people out there, in fact, 5 of you are watching right now. I'd say probably half of you are not, don't really you might be getting close to conscious awareness, or you might understand that there's conscious awareness, but most of us are living on autopilot 95% of the time. And we're not even taking conscious control of our life. Even when you begin to realize that you can start taking conscious control of your life, you're still not in control of it. You're just aware that you could be. And then you have to work to become consciously control of your life and of your mind. Your mind has been programmed for fear, worry, and doubt, however old you are, until you realize that you can take conscious control. So let's say, and you know, for me, it was like up until like my late 20s, early 30s, that I really began to take conscious control and be aware that I had the ability to take conscious control, and to really begin to master that I could take conscious control of my thoughts and my body and of my feelings. But for 30 some years, it was on autopilot, and the fear, the worry, doubt ran the system. I'm not going to be able to go overnight. Fear has been running my mind. Fear has been the program in my mind for the last 30 years, and I'm just going to flip a switch and turn it off and no more fear shows up. You've got to rewire that system. You have to uninstall the fear and download a new belief system. And so for me, I found the best way that I did that was repeating the new belief over and over and over and over again, and telling people this new belief over and over and over again, and even writing it out over and over and over again. Okay? So everything is working out for me. 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 You have to repeat the new belief that you want out loud to yourself over and over again, like to solidify it, to rewire that system. Your mind is like a computer, and someone else, as a whole child, when you're being raised, it's other people determining how that system operates. Like there's this thing called mirror neurons, where it's like our children literally mirror whatever is going on within us, and they pick it up, and so that becomes their automatic programming system. And until you're an adult and you get to take conscious control of that, like someone else was running the show in your mind and your feelings and your body and your thoughts, and you have to take conscious control of it. And when you take conscious control, it requires an uncomfortable period of awareness of being able to say, I'm no longer going to give into the fear. When I feel the fear, when I have the thoughts, I'm going to pick a new thought, and then I'm going to repeat it to myself on repeat like a broken record until I can silence the fear. And I will do that every time I catch myself. Every time I catch myself being afraid, I'm going to rewire my system. I'm going to rewire my mind. I'm going to install a new belief. Again, for me, it's taken time. It's taken time for me to shift my beliefs. It's taken time for me to download that new belief system into my mind. I still, even to this day, have to spend time where I say everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. Because again, every time you want to manifest something, you have to stretch your capacity to hold that. So like I talk about, one of the things I talk about in Magic Money is some of you may say, I want to be a millionaire, but you're crying about a $300 car repair bill. You can't be a millionaire and worry about $300 like that. If a surprise $300 bill knocks you out and puts you in a fetal position and causes you to fear, worry, and doubt, how do you think you're going to handle a $3,000 random bill that happens when you're a millionaire? How do you think you're going to handle a $300,000 random bill that happens when you're a multimillionaire? Right? You got to pay taxes on that stuff. There's things that happen. There's things that pop up. But if you can't hold the stress of $300, you won't be able to hold the stress of $3,000, of $300,000, of $3 million, right? And so you have to be able to stretch your capacity to hold these things. And that's saying, I will be okay no matter what. I will be okay no matter what. I will be okay no matter what. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. Everything is working out for me. And that's another one too, Melissa. You brought it up. What's meant for me cannot be taken from me. What's meant for me cannot be taken from me. I can't lose anything that is meant for me. If it's meant for me, I will have it. If it's not meant for me, I won't. And I will trust that if it was taken from me, that it wasn't meant for me, like that first house I had, and that something even better is showing up. So I leave myself open for whatever is better is going to show up. Something even better will show up. I trust something even better is going to show up. Like, we have to rewire our mind. We have to catch ourselves in the fear, and we have to install the new belief. We got to do that. So I love you all. I gotta be I gotta check in on David and the baby. I hear them coming in. So I love you all. This is an example of how we do Magic Money. I will drop the link somewhere. Hi, Pumpkin. I'm gonna drop the link somewhere here to join Magic Money. But if you go to melissamaydillon.com, the homepage right now is for my Mega Millions program, which is a 9-week transformational journey with me, which I'm super, super stoked about. It's got this most 7 epic lessons of me on my journey to become owning, to build $1 billion business and multi-millions of dollars, all that stuff. And it's $888 for that 9-week journey. And I'm super excited. That's going to be the lowest price it's ever offered at. So join now. But if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's a place where it says, if you can't join the Mega Millions, join Magic Money. And if you click that link, you can join Magic Money and have fun in our playground of monies. So I love you all. Have an amazing day. Bye.